Greetings! In this video, I am going to be answering a question that I get a lot as a nomad traveler. And the question isn't specific to me being a nomad, but more so for the traveling part. I wish I had $1 for every time someone has asked the question, aren't you afraid of your stuff being stolen? And what occurs to me when I hear that question is, it doesn't matter whether you're living in a house or you're stuff is all in your car, either place, yeah, it could be stolen. And so in this video, I am going to share with you 5 reasons or 5 things that give me peace of mind and what I do to maybe have some more security around my stuff. And you'll want to stay for the 5th one because it's absolutely free and it's something that I think that everyone should have. And also, by the way, this video is not to sell you anything. I'm going to share some of the different devices and tools that I use to keep my stuff safe. There will be no links. You can do your own research for color or model or style. I just want to give you some different ideas of how you can protect your stuff when you're traveling and maybe raise your awareness around it. If you're tuning into my channel for the first time, my name's Debbie Morton. 2 years ago, I was unexpectedly widowed, and after my husband passed, I made the decision to sell everything and travel around the world until I could figure out where I wanted to live next. We had a lot of timeshare points banked, and so I mostly live in timeshares, and I travel between those timeshares in my car. I also now am doing a lot more cruising. And so there's occasions where my car will be left in a long-term parking lot for anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. On this channel, I share videos about some of the different locations where I travel to, maybe to give you some different ideas for your future travels. I share with you my journey through grief and where I started from and where I am right now. So if there's things that you're struggling with in life, hopefully you can get a little bit of inspiration. And then I also share just some different things that I use in my travels and in my life. And so hopefully you'll get some value from that as well. I invite you to travel around with me in my community virtually. And to do so, just hit that subscribe button. It's totally free and you'll be notified next time I post a video. So let's get started on how I protect all my stuff. First of all, I purchased a steering wheel. Let me put it so that you can see it. I purchased a steering wheel lock before I left home. I knew that I would be driving through high tourist areas. I also knew that there would be times when my car would be parked anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. And so just having a locking device on the car will prevent or deter any thief from being able to easily take it. And with a steering wheel lock, once it's in place, no one can steer the car. They could get in, they can start it up, but they're just not going to be able to drive the car because they won't be able to turn the steering wheel. It's super heavy, super beefy, and I opted to get a combination lock on the steering wheel lock. And the reason I got a combination is I didn't want to be responsible for keys. If I were to lose my keys while I was traveling overseas and I get back in my car and I'm not able to drive because I don't have the key to unlock the steering wheel. So that's why I got a combination lock on it. The second thing that I purchased to secure my stuff is a super long cable lock. It's kind of like a bicycle cable lock, because I realized if someone were to break into my trunk while I'm on an international trip, I've taken only the clothes I need for that trip. Everything else is locked in my trunk. And so if I run a cable through all of the handles of all of the things in my trunk, it would really slow down someone from being able to easily pull things out of my trunk and take off with them. So I just have a little bit more peace of mind knowing that I can put this cable lock around everything. Yeah, a professional thief could cut through the cable lock or cut through the handles, but it's going to deter the average person who's not well equipped from having them take everything I have out of my trunk. And just like with the steering wheel lock, I also got this as a combination lock. I don't want to deal with the possibility of losing keys. the combination is always in my head. I've actually put the combination lock very similar between the two. And so it just makes it super, super easy when I get back from a trip to unlock my steering wheel, unlock the cable in my trunk. I don't need any keys, and the combination's the same. The other thing that I purchased, and I absolutely love them, are Apple AirTags. They were super easy to set up. And once I figured out the Apple AirTags and I started out by just purchasing a couple of them, and I love them so much. I've got them in everything. And one of the nice things is you can customize where each tag is. And so I can keep track of luggage that's with me when I'm traveling. I can keep track of stuff that might still be in my car. And I absolutely love these things. They give me peace of mind knowing that if anyone were to steal any of my belongings, that I'd be able to track them. It also gives me peace of mind when I'm traveling. If my luggage weren't to show up, I'd be able to figure out and track where my suitcase is. So I love that peace of mind. And then there was one more added benefit that I was so not expecting, and I'll tell a funny little story. In December, I went to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico, and this all-inclusive resort was massive. It was pretty much like three separate properties that are all interconnected. And when we arrived at the resort, we dropped everything off, and it was a company function. So my roommate and I got a golf cart shuttle to the far end of the resort to attend this dinner with everyone else. And afterward, we didn't want to stand in line for the golf cart back, so we just decided to walk it. And we couldn't find the room. We kept walking and walking and walking, and we went into one of the registration desks, and they gave us a map. So we were following the map and continuing to walk. And it's very tropical. It was really kind of hard to figure out where you were on the property. We ended up walking in a circle and coming right back to where we started. And finally, as we're studying the map, it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I just bought some air tags, and there's an air tag in my suitcase in the room. And so I pulled up my phone, and sure enough, it was able to locate the air tag, and it took us right to the room. So I now have peace of mind knowing that no matter where I am, I can find my way back to my hotel room and or find my way back to my belongings anytime I'm out and about. And I use the Apple AirTag. If you have an Android, then the equivalent of that, I believe, is the Tile. Please drop down in the comments if you're an Android user or if you're familiar with the AirTag or the Tile, or which is which. The fourth thing I use for added security are handbags that are designed for travelers. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. And I know they're not a fashion statement, but here's the cool thing about these. The handles are reinforced so they can't be cut. No one can cut the strap and take off with your purse. They also have like latching zippers. It's got a little clasp. So if you're in a high pickpocket area, you can zip your belongings into the bag and then clip it. So it wouldn't be easy for someone to be able to just reach in and grab something out of your bag. It also is made of a material that has an RFID protectant. So no one can, like in an airport, scan and get your credit card information. The bag protects against that. I love these bags. Again, it's not a fashion statement, but when you're traveling in a place where there's a lot of tourists, then the risk of pickpockets is definitely there. And having this bag just gives me peace of mind. I use the little one most of the time when I'm traveling. I can put my passport, my phone, a couple credit cards, and a little bit of cash, and wear it around my neck. And it's just real easy for getting through airports. If I'm walking around someplace and I need to have more stuff, I do have a bigger purse that contains more stuff. So I love these travel bags, and they really do give me a lot of peace of mind when I'm in really heavily trafficked tourist areas. And now for the fifth and final reason why I am not afraid of my stuff being stolen. And it all has to do with mindset. I'm not afraid of my stuff being stolen because I choose to not be afraid of my stuff being stolen. And I've learned to just not live in the fear of things that aren't a reality. Is it possible that someone could steal my stuff? Yeah, it's totally possible that someone could. Is it probable? It's probably not going to happen. Would it be an inconvenience if someone were to take something? Yeah, it would be an inconvenience, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Because of that, I choose to not worry about it. Having a positive mindset is totally free, and I believe that everyone should have one, because when we live with a belief system that everything happens for us and not to us, then we never ever have to be a victim. And instead, we have the ability to help others through very similar situations, and we learn lessons that will help us moving forward. And so I'm not afraid of my stuff being stolen because I choose to not be afraid of my stuff being stolen. That said, it is important to be practical. So getting back to the practical part of things, I hope that some of these different devices and items that I've shared inside of this video have given you a little bit more awareness around possibly some things that you could use in your travels. I do want to say I appreciate all of you who have expressed concern for my safety and for myself and for my belongings, and have asked the questions so that I could address it here in a video. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions for me as a nomad traveler or as a traveler in general. And if you've gotten some value from this video, I appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe so that you'll be alerted anytime I post a new video. Until next time, I appreciate you. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.